Hello, I'm Chindi.
And I'm Liz.
All right. So we were discussing the topics on mostly related to dating and relationship. And I had a question for Liz. Liz has more experience than I do in terms of relationships, and she has way more knowledge. There will be another lady who will be bringing into the program who will probably it'll be a great discussion. But I want to find out, Liz, how why do people just love mostly want monogamous relationships? Isn't sharing caring, for example, right? I mean,
Um, it's not always caring, but that's just why there are different strokes for different folks, and
Okay.
we really want to talk about it, but it's all about what do you need to feel emotionally
yeah,
and physically safe, but emotionally,
Yeah.
your social emotional well-being.
yeah,
I, for one, the more people you invite into your personal space,
Yeah.
sharing your body with, their health risks,
yeah,
psychologically, you get into, I just don't see how to be treated every single, let's say, for example, you're a man, you're involved with several women.
Yeah.
I don't understand how we could be treated equally because I know, like, perfect example is
yeah,
the sister wives that's on TV now.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because, well, it's not funny, but it is because they're all falling out.
yeah,
They started out being married to four, and now it's down to one favorite, and the rest are just kind of like breaking off.
yeah,
And the common thread is, although he was successful for many years,
yeah,
but now it's getting to the point where people are like, they want their own person. They don't want to be divided into four different households. So, I don't know. Other cultures think differently.
yeah. But it tends to be like one man, for example, many women in most cultures, isn't it? But I've seen cases where I forgot what they call it. I'm probably going to research that. Where there's one woman and many guys.
Oh, they just started a reality show.
Yeah,
The brother husbands or something like that.
yeah. What do you what? Because I just don't understand personally why people like people get all angry about this and they just want it to be like monogamous. Some people don't even maintain any discussion.
Well, it's different strokes for different folks. And I feel like depending on your lifestyle and where you are at different points of your life, like, for example, I know a lot of women my age are happy to have a male friend or whatever the case may be
Yeah.
for someone who has socialized.
Yeah.
I have another person who may be for other purposes.
Yeah.
So they're not counting on one person for their well-being.
Yeah.
It's all about personal preference. I mean,
I
as a kid, you may get a little bit more open, but there are certain things that people just aren't going to do. Like, there are certain things I'm not going to do. And it has nothing to do with anyone else other than protecting my personal self, my own social emotional well-being. Because who wants to be worried about who's he with, what's he doing? Like, you drive yourself crazy trying to figure out and control another adult behavior. But if you're happy where you are, you got a friend and you got a full life and you've learned to love yourself, then those other things, you'll learn what's important for you. So you'll attract those type of people who have similar moral standards or ethical standards, I guess, or just you're the same way. So I believe in the law of attraction. You attract what you desire.
Yeah.
So, but if you're healthy, you love yourself, you know exactly what's important for you, you put it out there in the universe, and you'll be attracted to that type of person. For somebody who wants to be in multiple relationships, they will tend to have those relationships. So it really is up to you. It's just not my thing.
I think. All right, we'll get more into this. All right, so Liz, I have a question for you. You are in a relationship, right? Now, this is you're in a relationship. And then the person you're dating comes to you. He says, well, what about we have an open relationship? I'd like to date other people, and I would be okay with you dating other people. What would you do? Would you accept that? Is that acceptable to you?
Well, open relationship, and we're just dating. That means we're friends.
Yeah.
So that would be friends without benefits? Or
without benefits? What that's what he's looking for.
It's okay. It's okay. I get it. Everybody else is
And I like the way you answered it. I had an answer from one of our friends that we know, but I'm not mention how she didn't get that permission, who said that she would just begin packing their stuff up. She just begin packing up. I'm like, what? You won't pack your partner's stuff? She's like, yeah, I'll just begin packing their stuff. If they asked me that question, I just begin packing their stuff. That was funny.
I mean, but the whole thing is like,
Yeah.
Are people really afraid of commitment?
Yeah.
Or are you really still shopping? So if this individual is still shopping,
Yeah.
so I say, go on, brother, do your thing, keep shopping. But you have boundaries set with me. I mean, you're not going to be on the same level as somebody who's like
trying to come in a monogamous relationship.
But it also depends on what phase are you dating. Are you just getting to know
Yeah.
them, or have you been dating for a year and then you get to know? And it says, now I'm bored, so I want to open a relationship. So it's other factors and variables. But I think that communication is key. And it goes back to you loving yourself, setting your boundaries, knowing what's acceptable for you as an individual. Because you know what? Is it work? At least about my age, it's not work going back crazy over somebody else, over an adult trying to control their behaviors. You know, I've seen it plenty of times. People get so up, we didn't come home, he's late, he's who is he with? Do it. Nah, nobody's got time for that. Life's too short.
Yeah, so you would say you set boundaries, no.
You can have open relationship.
Yeah, you can have an open relationship.
But again, there'll be boundaries with me.
No, you can't go into your bed or anything like that.
Oh, no. We could be friends. We could be best friends. Why not? You're just friends, just like me and anybody else. Just like me and you, somebody else. Oh, I died. You know, like our great auntie, who God bless her soul, used to always say, "Hey, why buy the milk and you can get the cow for free?" So I'm like, "Hey, it is what it is."
Oh, I see.
I'm special some way. We're wrong with. They have
to feel the same way. So so basically that's you draw a lot of boundaries if it was monogamous. If it was non-monogamous relationship.
Well, it's really about making sure you're safe, that your social emotional health is protected.
Yeah, I see.
Your physical health is protected.
Yeah.
Because there's some dangerous stuff going on out there.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is life is too short for you to waste a minute.
Yeah.
I could just say for myself, the older I get, the more I realize that my most precious resource is time. So I'm choosing to spend quality time and create quality relationships and quality memories because I'm getting closer to the end than I am to the beginning. So things have shifted for me. So for me right now, it's all about quality, clarity, communication. And I want somebody who's going to be caring and we can grow together to meet whatever our goals are. All the other stuff, I don't have time for.
I see. That's very interesting that you have, that kind of thing because of course, for me, I would say that the only reason why I'm afraid of non-monogamous relationship is jealousy. That's the only major reason why. Because I personally wouldn't be jealous, but I think that whoever one of the two people would be, maybe not the person who's telling me that they want to date somebody else. Maybe she's telling me that, but maybe she invites another person into the relationship. And then I have to deal with the nonsense, the jealousy, and who knows what that person is going to do. I don't want to deal with it. A lot of people do crazy stuff because they're jealous, and I just don't want to deal with that. So that's why I would stay away from a non-monogamous. It's not because I personally would be all right with it. I'm okay with the polyamory. So I'll be perfectly fine with it personally. However, I would have a very hard time trusting that the other person is okay. If you know what I mean. Like if I'm dating that person, are they all right with it? Or if the other person that they're dating, their partner, the other partner, are they okay with it? So they say they bring somebody, because I personally wouldn't go out with somebody else. Just not that person. But let's say I have a girlfriend. She says, I'm going to bring another person. I don't know whether it's a dude or a lady. I want to bring another person into our relationship. Is that person going to be so aggressive? Like they're going to be mad at me that I'm in a relationship, but they just don't let anybody know. And maybe they're just doing things to make my life miserable.
That goes back to your person's intent.
Yeah.
And you won't know that because people are going to really, okay, let's be real.
Yeah.
When you're in a relationship, when you first meet somebody in that period, they put on their best behavior. No person is going to ever come up to you and say, look, put the brakes on it. I am the most messed up person you ever want.
Exactly.
So when I say, hello, how you doing? You should run. Nobody's going to tell you to run.
Yeah.
They're going to put on their best. You're going to be like, oh, this person is so this, that.
Yeah.
They check all the boxes. But then as time starts happening and you start ignoring the red flags, the next thing you know, you got Psycho Susie running around or crazy whoever chasing you, and you don't understand how to break the dynamics of the group. And so people are very sophisticated because I call them predators. They've learned how to seduce and how to manipulate situations.
Yeah.
And by the time you realize that you are being manipulated, you're in trouble.
Yeah. So that's what I've realized. That's what my issue is. I can't trust. Even in monogamous relationships, why I'm single, I can't trust the person. What more if there are more people? Now I got to be looking at, okay, is that person okay with it? They say they're okay. Sometimes people say things to just get what they want.
Right.
And then once they get what they want, so maybe they like the lady I'm dealing with. And so maybe that person likes them and they say, I'm going to deal with them too. Then once they get into the relationship, then they begin to push me away. Right. They try to do things that will make my life miserable. And that's my issue. That's why I just said, no, I would be very uncomfortable. So have I had a situation only once where somebody has said, hey, but they were already in a relationship and they were like, hey, you want to come in? I'm like, I don't trust. And and the lady was asking me, why? I just don't trust that the other person or you are okay with it. Maybe you are okay with it, but the other person is not. What if they, beat me up for no reason?
Right.
Whatever.
Because you don't know. You can't control.
I can't control other people's emotions. And if they're lying, I can't tell that they're lying. And people will even lie to themselves. You ever notice? Like, I'm okay, but they are not okay. Like, it's like, I'm okay.
Well, sometimes people will go along with whatever their partner is saying because they fear being alone.
Exactly.
That's real. So some people don't want to be alone because, I'm sure we all know people go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, but they never spend any time with themselves.
Yeah.
They're afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
So, again, self-loving, that's practicing self-care, self-love, and really being in tune with what's important to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Save yourself a lot of headaches that way.
Yeah, it's just a headache to deal with. That's for me personally. Now, as I said, last time we have other friends who are in polyamorous relationships, and they're happy.
It works for them.
Yeah, that's fine. But I personally, it would be trusting that the other person is okay with it. I personally would be okay. I personally would be like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm fine with it as long as we have, we take all the necessary precautions. I personally would be fine. I don't care. But if I love the other person and I trust that the situation will be good, but I have a problem with trusting whether the other person will be okay with it.
Right.
That's where my issue is.
Would you also say, depending on your family situation, there are children involved, that can get very complicated because kids do not understand adult relationships.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That level of discretion.
Yeah. The question is, how do you deal with that? But I think with the modern family, there's so many situations, single families, whatever. So I think that part can be understood. I think that part. In my African tradition, we even have those extended family system, and you have different people. You have aunts, uncles in the same house, of cousins raising each other. So I think that can be dealt with. That's just my personal view. That can be dealt with. But I think the issue is whether there will be a level of trust when there are more people. I think sex is such an emotional thing that people will, if people like somebody, they'll say anything to get that person. But once they get that person, then they begin to act out. And that's been my experience. And it is friends, right? I have a lot of female friends. You as my friend, a lot of other, most of my friends are female, right? So imagine, like, I've had exes in the past who will say, yeah, I'm okay. You could, whatever. And then they begin to act, once we get into a relationship, they begin to act weird. Like, they begin to do things to keep the other person away. And you're like, what's going on here? They just begin to behave in the same. For example, if I have an appointment with my best friend she's a lady as well. If I have an appointment with my lady, every time I have an appointment with my best friend, she comes up with something. Oh, there's something going on, or we get into an argument. And so what I realized very quickly is that people are territorial, and they're not going to say that. They're not going to tell you that. So I realized people are going to tell you anything to get you if they like you, but once they get you, then they begin to act up. One of my friends was telling me that she had a boyfriend who was the same way. Like, he was like, I'm okay with you having a little male friend. Like, next thing you know, she's living way far away. He forced her to move she moved from, I think, New York City to here in Albany. And then he forced her to leave, he works in Albany, and he knows most of our friends are in Albany. So he would have her live in some small area, like maybe say Saratoga or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how far it is, you know what I'm talking about. But people don't know, watching this, it's like probably about 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. I see, exactly. And there's no buses. Like, they're rarely buses. And she couldn't drive at the time. Yeah. And so he did that deliberately to keep her away from hanging out with her friends. And then, so wherever she went, she had to tell him. And sometimes he would say, no, you can't do that. And so there was some sort of sense of narcissism and control.
Yeah, that's control.
That's that's domestic violence. So yeah, it got to that level. But that's the point that's what I want. But when he was trying to date her, he said he was okay.
But nobody's going to tell you again. Nobody's going to tell you, I am the worst person you ever want to meet. I'm going to wreck your life.
Yeah, I'm going to wreck your friend's life. Yeah.
So if you let me in, I'm going to destroy you. Nobody's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
So they're going to always put out, and the thing about it is these people who have alternative motives are very charming.
Yeah.
And they usually look very good. They play the part. They just draw you in.
Yeah.
So you don't even realize that you're being manipulated, or you don't even realize that they're under the guy. So I love you. I care about you. I want to spend more time with you. I want you all to myself. And slowly but surely, you're getting pushed away from your family, your friends, the things that you once were involved with are no longer exist. Where that person now becomes your world. He or she is now the center of your universe.
Yeah.
So when you pull back, then it's like, oh no, you're not pulling back. That's when the other side comes out, And it usually becomes a game. Let's be really nice. Let's show the other side. Let's be really nice. Let's show the other side.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. So again, social emotional wellness, and having that balance, because you should always be able to have your individuality and still be in a loving relationship.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's my issue. Like, I love my individuality. I love my individuality. You've seen my apartment is quite messy. Yeah. I am an individual. I don't like being like, you do this. No, like, I have to have my own self time. My ideal date would be like we meet once or twice a week and we really have those times to hang out. And then the other times, just leave each other alone. You go see your friends, I go see that's my ideal situation. But unfortunately, a lot of people are not like that. And they pretend like they're like that. Mm-hmm. And then you find out, no, you're not like that. No, this is what's going on. You're not supposed to be doing that. I thought you said you were okay with it. No, it's not okay. Why is she calling you at this time? I thought you said it was okay. Like,
well, that's all different something.
Yeah.
If you're living with someone, again, creating balance. Like, if you're married to someone you don't want, like I have some of my best friends are guys.
Yeah.
So out of respect to their wives, I will not call them after a certain time or text. And actually, for the most part, I will usually call them at work while they're at work doing it.
Oh, I see.
But I don't interfere with their family time.
Yeah.
Because I don't want their wife to think anything other than what my pure intentions are. And that's just out of respect for her.
Yeah,
because I try to be aware of that, because sometimes we create some of this drama in our life by not even thinking, by texting like 12 o'clock at night. Well, his wife is going to be like, who's that texting you at 12 o'clock at night?
Yeah, I would be fine with some sort of a compromise. I personally don't care, to be honest. I personally would hope that the person doesn't care, but if I can tell that they're uncomfortable with it, I would say, okay, fine. I'll call my best friend and say, hey, can you call me before 11 or something like that? I think my best friend would be fine with that.
Well, that's a compromise.
Yeah, that's a compromise. But what I wouldn't be okay with is when if I had, say, a spouse or a girlfriend and they begin to interfere with my relationship that I have with my best friend, because we come a long way.
Right.
She helped me through a lot of things that went through my depression and everything. She really helped me. And then now you want to ruin that. Right. Nope, you're not going to do that. So that's why I have issues with dating. One of the reasons, there are other reasons, but that's one of the reasons I have dating is like, I'm just like, I don't know whether to trust. And so in non-monogamous relationships, even worse. Like polyamorous, I'll be like, I have 2-3 people to think about. I don't know what's going on here. Right. Are they really comfortable with this? Or are they playing the game? Or are they just saying things that they don't know? Yeah. But anyway, we are going to stop here. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Next week, we have a new lady who is joining us. Hopefully next week, unless she cancels, unless she cancels, we'll still record. We will be posting these videos now weekly. So expect to see a video at least once a week. And we'll be dealing mostly with the topics around dating. Sometimes we'll be giving advice on like work. Liz has a lot of experience about work.
Okay. Well, let's clarify something. Because you keep saying I have a lot of experience in relationships. I am not a relationship expert. However, I have lived. And so I have my own opinion. But again, my opinion is my opinion. And my whole purpose of having this conversation is just to encourage people to spend time with themselves, to become the best versions of themselves, focus on self-love, learn to communicate what your needs are. And it's a process. Above all, give yourself grace for past relationships. We've all made mistakes. I'm sure anybody in the world can say, what was I thinking of? Like, I mean, that's kind of like how you grow. But you grow from your mistakes. And sometimes mistakes are an opportunity to grow. But I think that one of the things I want to leave you with is a friend of mine, he actually said in a conversation, he says, someone's rejection is God's protection. Whether or not you believe in whatever universe or whatever you believe is. But when things don't work out the way that you want it to, because we're always trying to control things, maybe it's a reason that it's not meant for you. And that means something better is going to happen. So just leave it like open-minded, grow from it. And we'll talk about other things next week.
Yeah, I'll talk about work. That's what I want. You're an expert at that. Yeah. That one you're an expert at. Finding people jobs. Yeah. And getting people to find work and how to do that. You're an expert at that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't mean relationship. I know. Yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about work.
So we'll talk about that as well. But see you guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.